All right, let's get you going here on our Monday morning. Some spotty showers in the area, and we'll see off and on showers through the morning hours, diminishing as we head into the midday period. So I think more of the afternoon will be dry than the morning, and even maybe some sunshine developing during the course of the day as well. High temperature in the mid-70s. If you're going to the Tiger game tonight, the A's are in town. Looks like temps falling from the 70s into the upper 60s, and should be a dry game. Kim?
All right, thank you, Paul. Here's a look at your commute this morning. I-94 right at Connor here. It's very quiet out there. We do have dry roads to start off the day. Traffic volume's pretty light and your commute looking good. Accident-free to start off this Monday morning.
A vehicle involved in a car show crashes into a crowd of people.
The video is just stunning. It happened Saturday morning in Boise, Idaho. Take a look. Police say 11 people were injured. Witnesses say the driver of this gray Porsche was accelerating rapidly as he left the car show parking lot. The vehicle then lost control and crashed into several people standing on the sidewalk. Everyone involved thankfully expected to be okay.
Jeez,
incredible though, yeah. Well, new in our next half hour, shots fired on an Oakland County golf course.
Plus the surprise ending from a crime caught on camera when the suspect has a change of heart. Paula?
Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Robbery and murder, those are things that just shouldn't happen. They do. It is mind-boggling when those acts are committed by a 12-year-old. It did. And today that 12-year-old turns into a 21-year-old and is released from jail. That's the story we're working on for you this morning.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News Today at 5:30 starts now.
A brouhaha over empty cans, empty beer cans, leading to shots being fired on an Oakland County golf course.
And a disgusting delivery. A homeowner sickened by what a would-be robber left behind.
And summer just won't let go. Are we complaining? I'm not sure.
I am not complaining.
Paul says we're in for another warm week. You can wear white. Say to heck with it.
Absolutely. If we're still going to have temperatures in the 80s, I'm going to keep wearing white. It was a gorgeous weekend.
It was, and it's going to get even better. I mean, it looks like next weekend already is shaping up. Paul?
Absolutely. Can we just call this the dog days of September? Can we just do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. It's the dog days of September. Wait till you see the week ahead. I'll have the 7-day for you in about 10 minutes or so. Right now, look at these temps. This is August weather, starting the day at Metro Airport at 70 degrees, 65 in Mount Clemens, even 64 way up in the Blue Water area there at Port Huron, 68 right now at Monroe. And you can see on the radar, most of this is ground clutter here, but you see the things that are moving are very light showers here to the north. We'll zoom in for you. This is our north zone here. And again, it's just very light. Some of it just sprinkles. Even if you are getting rain right now, it's not going to be enough to really help the very dry conditions that we have. And another little batch here, southeastern quarter of Lenawee County right here. You got a little shower going through. That's going to move into northwest Monroe County. So, yeah, we have some spotty showers around, and especially during the morning, that will be the case. So take the umbrella just in case you need it today. But again, not enough rain to help the dry conditions. It looks like an average high in the mid-70s, and then things are going to go uphill from there as we move through the week. Again, I'll have that 7-day forecast for you in just a bit. But right now, let's get you out the door with what's happening on those roads. What do you got there, Kim?
All right, Paul, thank you. Well, we've got great conditions this morning for your morning commutes. No accidents to report at this time, so we're talking about some construction over on the Lodge. We'll start with the southbound lanes between Forest and Grand River. That's where we're going to see one lane blocked there between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. This is a daily project, so this is going to be happening during that same time all the way through Thursday. Northbound Lodge will have construction as well between Washington Boulevard and Jefferson. That will have one lane block between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. We also have more construction to talk about over on I-75. I'll tell you all about that project coming up at 5:44. Back to you.
Our top story this half hour, joy and renewed hope for one family while another relives the unthinkable heartbreak.
A man convicted of murder at the age of 12 will go free today on his 21st birthday. The victim's family does not support his release. Let's go live to Local 4's Paula Tutman. Paula, emotions will be running high on both sides today.
Absolutely. Now, keep in mind, this is a young man who had contact with authorities before he committed this horrible crime. The question today will be, did he enter juvenile detention to become a better person or a better criminal? The answer, no one will know until after today, because after today, he's free and clear. Today is DeMarco Harris's 21st birthday. It is also the day he wins his freedom. In 2009, Harris was convicted of shooting and killing Trisha Babcock in an attempted robbery. He was 12 years old at the time. The question, after 8 years in prison, has he served his debt to society? Is he still a danger to society? Because he was convicted as a juvenile, a judge decided, but not without first Trisha Babcock's family weighing in at his release hearing recently.
So this brutal act that DeMarco did should not be overlooked.
Babcock's family members were against the idea of releasing Harris. Her father gave an emotional testimony about his loss.
It wasn't fair for you when you died alone. My daughter deserves justice. This crime in juvenile detention center for 7 years while he played the system. Anybody in their right mind would have done the same thing that he did because he knows he has a chance for freedom.
Harris told the court there is no doubt. He says he's been rehabilitated, and he says he's remorseful.
Since that day, I have grown mentally, physically, and spiritually.
The judge took the recommendations of several therapists before ruling to release him, seemingly reluctantly.
I know I've been told that once he reaches 21, he's supposed to be cut loose. I'm not so sure about that.
Well, the people who actually had contact with Harris in the juvenile facility when he was a detainee say he was a model detainee, did well in school, took college courses. They believe he's not a danger to society. Here's the thing. He gets released today on his 21st birthday. As far as I understand, he has no further contact with the court. Certainly therapists hope he continues with some sort of therapy and does not go back to the neighborhood that he came from. But again, he's a 21-year-old man. Today, he walks free. Back to you.
Can't imagine what it's like for both families. All right, thank you, Paula.
In Springfield Township, an argument between a golf course employee and a customer turns violent when the worker pulls out a gun and opens fire. Police say the situation took place at the Heather Highlands Golf Course on Saturday. The argument is said to have started when the employee confronted the golfer over his removal of empty beer cans from the property. It's unclear what prompted the worker to pull a gun. Police were called and he was arrested. Victim is a 60-year-old from Waterford Township.
Time now is 5:34, and a thief sending a message after a couple in Taylor chases him away during an attempted robbery. The homeowners caught the thief in their car around 2 a.m. on Friday. The husband chased the man but lost him. He left stolen goods and a phone in their car, but when they woke up the next morning, they found a knife in their yard and human waste on their porch.
Leave his feces on my porch. I think that the guy should be prosecuted if he's caught, because that is absolutely disgusting.
I couldn't even imagine. Police are still looking for the man, but the couple fears he could return.
A family outing at the Michigan Renaissance Festival ends with a 7-year-old girl being pushed to the ground and a 26-year-old man in handcuffs. According to deputies, this happened Saturday night. A parent noticed the St. Clair Shores man was using profanity. When he was asked to stop, he shoved the victim to the ground. A woman then got involved but was held by the neck and also shoved, and the victim's 7-year-old daughter was pushed. He is now in custody at the Oakland County Jail.
Time now for an update to a story we first told you about on Saturday. You may recall these thieves were caught stealing a package off of an elderly woman's porch on Detroit's west side. There you can see the woman running to the front porch. The 78-year-old's victim says the men stole her medication. Now, new video shows another person throwing a package on her lawn in the middle of the night. Inside of that package was the woman's missing medication.
Hey, big spender. A new survey reveals what most Americans are forking over wads of cash to buy.
I wonder what that is. Plus, dozens arrested and a big-name comedian spotted in the crowd of protesters in St. Louis. That's next. Time now is 5:39, and in St. Louis, at least 80 people were arrested Sunday during a third day of protests. And the protests broke out after Judge Timothy Wilson acquitted former police officer Jason Stockley, who was charged in the 2011 killing of Anthony Lamar Smith. Prosecutors say Stockley, who is white, shot and intended to kill Smith, who is black, and allegedly planted a gun on him. Wilson said there was no evidence to support that claim. Several officers were injured as debris was thrown at them by protesters. And over the weekend, rapper and comedian Nick Cannon was spotted among the hundreds of protesting the judge's decision. Ed Sheeran and U2 canceled their scheduled weekend concerts due to the protests.
Police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana now say the killings of 2 black men last week appear to be linked and racially motivated. Investigators say the victims, 49-year-old Donald Smart and 59-year-old Bruce Caulfield, were shot to death 2 days and just miles apart. However, the suspect is said to have shot the victims from a vehicle and then got out and fired more shots. Police say a 23-year-old man from Baton Rouge has been taken into custody as a person of interest. Family of the Georgia Tech student who was shot and killed by campus police Saturday will hold a news conference today. 21-year-old Scout Schultz was a fourth-year computer engineering student and president of Pride Alliance at the university. A student witness says Schultz had a knife and was walking toward officers who were yelling, "Drop it." Scout's family is seeking answers regarding why Georgia Tech campus police failed to use non-lethal force.
In today's Help Me Hank report, almost half of Americans have plans for big purchases this year. According to a study, 49% of Americans say they're very likely to make large purchases like furniture, electronics, airline tickets, or large appliances before year's end. Airline tickets were the top selection among the 6 categories. Only 17% of those surveyed said they won't be purchasing big ticket items this year. But there's still Christmas.
Wow.
I know.
That's interesting, intriguing.
I could see airline tickets, though.
You have only 4 days left to enter this year's Film Challenge Detroit and win a trip to the Sundance Film Festival. That's a ticket you won't have to buy. In fact, we'll even throw in $1,000 cash.
Wow. To enter, you just have to head to filmchallengedetroit.com to upload your 5 to 15-minute film fitting the theme Good versus Evil. Here's a look at one of the submissions we received. Ooh, the suspense. That was Que Sera, submitted by Nancy Boyd. Good luck to everyone who submits.
Que Sera, Sera.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
69th Annual Primetime Emmy Awards in Hollywood was a star-studded affair. Some big winners from the night. Saturday Night Live took home several awards, including Best Variety Sketch Program. Both Kate McKinnon and Alec Baldwin won Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy for their work on the show.
And Melissa McCarthy and Dave Chappelle both won Best Guest Actor awards for roles on SNL. Don Roy King won Best Directing in a Variety series for Saturday Night Live. The Voice also won big, taking home the Best Reality Competition Show award. And Sterling K. Brown from This Is Us won Best Lead Actor in a Drama series.
Coming up in our 6:30 half hour, the surprise appearance that had everyone talking at last night's Emmys and some people furiously tweeting that it was too soon.
It happened pretty early in the show, too. We'll have that in a second. Paul, you are tracking a lot of storm activity this morning out in the tropics.
Yeah, this is not good news. And just to refresh your memory, okay, the Leeward Islands, these are the islands right here that were devastated by Hurricane Irma. Okay, keep an eye on this area right here, because this thing right here is going to be, I'll show you in a minute, it's going to be going right through those islands, and it's going to make a direct hit on Puerto Rico. Further to the north, this is Jose. Now, Jose doesn't have the structure that you just saw with Maria, but still, it is a hurricane with 80-mile-per-hour winds. The tropical storm force winds extend way out. So we're going to talk about both of these storms from a forecast standpoint. First of all, here is Jose, and it's going to kind of head up toward New England and then make a loop. And some models actually bring it back down as a weakening storm and back into the coast. Some models just take it off. But notice, down to 70 miles per hour, a tropical storm by early Wednesday morning, 2 a.m. And then by this weekend, it's down to 50 miles per hour, just kind of spinning its wheels out here. But further to the south, this is Maria, and as I mentioned, remember those islands, this is cutting right through the islands. And remember, it's the right side of a hurricane that you get the strongest, most destructive weather, and that is going to go right through the Virgin Islands and eventually right into Puerto Rico, where we're going to see at Puerto Rico, this could be 130-mile-per-hour category 4 hurricane. The models are in very good agreement on this track through the islands and Puerto Rico, all taking it then further to the northwest. We're not talking about impact on the U.S. yet. Everything is in play, from the Carolinas to New England to nothing, and maybe it could just go off to sea and not hit anybody. So we're going to keep a very close eye on it for you and keep you updated. Very quiet to start our day and very warm as well. Again, this is August weather here, starting in the mid to upper 60s, even near 70 degrees in some spots. So it's a very warm, muggy start to the day. We have spotty showers in the area. Some of you haven't had much of anything overnight. Some of you have had some light showers. Nothing real heavy out here. We had one heavier downpour in southeast Monroe County. That has moved off over Lake Erie. The model's not necessarily doing a great job with the morning showers in the area, but we're basically going to see spotty pop-up showers through the course of the day. The front moving very, very slowly, but the activity should settle down by late afternoon and in the evening. So I think we're okay for the Tiger game the way things look right now if you're heading down to Comerica Park. So lots of clouds today with perhaps some sunshine developing mid to late afternoon. Spotty showers a possibility. Mostly morning for most of us, and then down south of 8 Mile there could still be a spotty shower this afternoon, and high temperatures averaging in the mid 70s, a little cooler to the north. Tomorrow, very similar day to today. We'll have scattered showers around, 70s for highs, but then feast your eyes. Highs in the low to mid 80s the rest of the week. And notice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have sunshine on all of these days. So for Rosh Hashanah, for the big Jewish holiday there, things are looking great. For the weekend, boy, tailgating, boy, Michigan State's home against Notre Dame. That's always a huge one. Lions tailgaters on Sunday, Kim, coming downtown to Ford Field. It is looking just great. Summery weather here as we move through September.
Wow, that is just the best news.
It's
Thank
great
you.
stuff.
All right, well, I've got some good news as well. We are accident-free to start off your Monday morning, so let's get to that construction we want to talk about over on 4th Street, the eastbound lanes between Trumbull and 6th Street. That is where we will have construction. Only one lane will be open there until 3 o'clock today, so it could be kind of slow in that area. If that's part of your commute, just keep that one in mind. Also, we've got the orange barrels out on northbound I-75 between 11 Mile and 12 Mile. One lane blocked there, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. This will be a daily project happening during that same time through Friday. Southbound I-75 has construction as well between I-696 and 8 Mile. One lane blocked there at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This will also continue during that same time throughout the week, wrapping up on Friday at 5 p.m. We also want to take a look at your commute over on I-275. That's coming up in my next report at 5:54. Over to you.
Thank you, Kim. Time for some stories you might have missed over the weekend.
Northbound I-75 at 4th Street was closed Sunday due to an SUV careening into the construction site on southbound I-75. Here you see the vehicle being lifted from the site.
A security guard says he saw the SUV swerve to miss him, a group of porta potties and barrels, before crashing into the newly laid metal sheeting. Officials say if it wasn't for the sheeting, the car would have crashed down onto 4th Street. Police said the driver was drunk and caused about, $50,000 worth of damage.
That is a lot. Wow. I was actually wondering about the cost when I was looking at that repair work.
Can you imagine having just finished that? And then
yeah, exactly.
We're going to redo all this? In downtown Detroit, thousands gathered at Milliken State Park to find a cure for type 1 diabetes.
And our very own Brandon Rue was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when he was 26 years old. His son was also diagnosed 3 years ago. And Sunday, Brandon and his family joined thousands of others to raise money and awareness at the JDRF One Walk. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease that strikes children and adults. It has nothing to do with diet or lifestyle, and there is currently no cure. They were doing a great job. They were interviewing kids there, raising tens of thousands of dollars.
Pretty smart local 4 hockey sweater that Brandon had on there. It was cool. Elementary school principal gets creative to motivate her students to raise money for Hurricane Harvey relief.
Why didn't they have this when I was in school? On Friday, the students got to tape their principal to a wall as an incentive. It happened just outside of Roanoke, Virginia. The students raised more than $1,000 for Hurricane Harvey victims. No word on how long the principal was taped to the wall. That must have been pretty fun. You don't look that impressed.
No. I think it's cool. I love stuff like that. Remember when Letterman used to jump onto the wall in a Velcro suit? Anything that's like that, I'm down for that. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
I'm an old man.
I'll YouTube it. Well, a pretty pink playhouse is at the center of an ugly neighborhood fight.
Why some want this thing torn down and left us kind of shaking our heads in the newsroom. Like, where are your priorities? Now this.
See what's happening
morning on the next Live in the D. We talk live with actress and cooking guru Tiffany Thiessen.
Plus, which trends are still hot or not?
Today at 10 on Local 4.
Tonight at 10.
Hope you had a great weekend. Welcome to Monday morning. We are starting off with scattered showers in the area. A lot less of that, maybe even ending by noon. There still could be a pop-up shower during the course of the afternoon. High temperature in the mid-70s, and right now the evening looks dry, and that's good news if you're heading down to the Tiger game. So dry at Comerica Park. Starting off, boy, this is not like September ball games. Starting off in the mid-70s, dropping into the upper 60s by the end of the game. Yeah, we're not used to that in September. And take a look at the temperature trends. So 70s today and tomorrow, and then feast your eyes, Kim. We are in the 80s for the rest of the week through the weekend. And by the way, Wednesday through Sunday all look dry with some sunshine. So, boy, oh boy, dog days of September, we're calling it.
Yeah, that's right. Summer is back, it looks like. All right, well, here is your commute this morning. Those of you headed out the door right now towards I-94, here's what it looks like. This is 94 right at Southfield Freeway. Traffic volume starting to build a little bit, getting a little busier out there. However, we still have dry roads, no accidents, no stalled vehicles. A-okay to start off your Monday morning.
A Canadian TV show host is shot and killed in a Toronto restaurant. Now police are calling it a targeted attack. 53-year-old Simon Giannini was eating in a crowded restaurant when a masked gunman entered and shot him multiple times. The shooter took off and Simon was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police are still searching for the gunman. No other injuries were reported. Giannini hosted a show called Real Estate Intelligence in Canada.
4 American college students are out of the hospital after being attacked with acid at a train station in southern France. The 4 girls were standing outside of a train station when a woman suddenly sprays them with hydrochloric acid. They were rushed to the hospital and received treatment for their burns. The attacker is a 41-year-old woman with a history of mental illness. She is now in police custody.
Right now, a little girl's playhouse is the center of controversy in one Missouri neighborhood.
And it's all because the neighborhood's homeowners association says their home violates the rules. Little Emma Goolsby has a pink playhouse in her backyard. It's filled with flowers, books, and crafts. The home is important for Emma, who has an autoimmune disease, and she goes to the home to do her breathing treatments daily. But the association says the home violates their no shed policy and must come down. The homeowner says she asked her realtor if the playhouse was allowed before purchasing the home, and she was told it was.
HOA bylaws say you can't have a metal shed, but it doesn't say anything about a playhouse. It's sad that they're picking on a child's playhouse.
Late Friday night, the Homeowners Association said while it approves of most wooden playsets, the playhouse remains in violation of its rules. Because good Lord in heaven forbid that this little girl should have her little pink playhouse where she actually needs treatment. I don't understand why people in a homeowners association collectively could be heartless to that extent.
I get that aesthetics are important and you want your neighborhood to look beautiful and well maintained, but in this sense, this little girl is having her breathing treatments there. She's clearly dealing with some illness and some challenges. It's just kind of boggles your mind a little bit as to where your priorities are.
Let's be honest, it's not like the thing is an eyesore. It's not like it's a rusting metal shed, you know, half falling down.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's clearly a little kid's playhouse that also has extra special meaning. So anyway, what do you think? Let us know. Hit us up on our Local 4 Facebook page and or Twitter and weigh in with your 2 cents, because I mean, homeowners associations can be pretty strict.
Yeah, I mean, my parents face something themselves, so yeah, we'll stay on top of this. Coming up all new at 6, local stories from Romulus, Detroit, and Centerline.
Plus, with the school year in full swing, a new study from the University of Michigan says schools need to do more to reassure parents. I'll tell you why.
And some good news to start the work week, lower gas prices. The drop you can expect to see at the pump. We're back in a minute.
Wait, gas prices don't go down?
They do after you fill up.
When news and live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News Today at 6 starts now.
Pledge controversy. The 6th grader who protested the Pledge of Allegiance at his school getting community support. The rally happening at the school today.
Plus, 2 young boys hailed as heroes after a massive apartment fire. Why their neighbors are praising them this morning.
Good morning. We have the pitter-patter of little raindrops across parts of the area this morning, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about your week ahead, and we have 2 hurricanes that we really need to have a conversation about. All that just ahead.
Good morning. Good Monday morning. Thank you for waking up with us. Hopefully you don't have a case of the Mondays. I'm Jason Carr.
And I'm Priya Mann. Evrod and Rhonda have the morning off.
Paul is in for Brandon. He's tracking some rain chances, but he's got a great 7 day, so don't hold that against him.
And we actually need the rain, so don't hold the rain against me either, because I mean we have quite a rain deficit this month, so I'd like to get a few downpours around here, but it's going to be pretty spotty today. Look how mild it is to start the day. You'll actually walk out the door and think, is this August? It's steamy out. Look at the 68 in Pontiac, 70 still at City Airport, 69 at Metro, even way up in the thumb. 67 degrees right now over in Sandusky. So yeah, it is a really muggy, warm start to the day. We have one thunderstorm that has kind of settled down a bit over western Lake Erie, but yeah, this is just a batch of very regular light batch of showers moving from Lenawee into Monroe County. So yeah, you have a little shower there, and not much going on in the central part of the area, but everything you see moving here is very light, spotty shower activity. Again, yeah, it's raindrops, but it's not enough to really do anything in putting a dent in our rain deficit. Just barely dampens the ground, doesn't soak in. So as we move through the day, we're going to see these spotty showers this morning, perhaps a midday break, and maybe a few little pop-up showers or a small thunderstorm chance this afternoon. High temperature averaging in the mid-70s. And again, we have to talk about those hurricanes. There's some really bad news for the Caribbean. We'll talk about that and the impact on the Lions game tonight. All of that just ahead, Kim.
All right, speaking of Lions, go Lions. New York Giants tonight. Now we're taking a look at your commute this morning, and we are still good, but we want to take a look at what your commute looks like. This is I-696 right at I-75, and you can just see your conditions looking fantastic as you head out the door this morning. Nothing you need to worry about besides construction. We do have construction over on M59. I'll tell you about that coming up at 6:14. Back to you.
Thank you, Kim. Breaking news out of Centerline. That's where police are investigating after a group of thieves broke into a Benson's health store on 11 Mile Road near Lawrence. Right now, police say the thieves made off with medicine that's being stored, or was being stored, in a locked cabinet. Not anymore. But they were in and out of the store in just 3 minutes. We'll keep you updated on air and also online at clickondetroit.com. Today, protesters will be outside of a Farmington Hills school because of an incident involving the Pledge of Allegiance.
And middle schooler Stone Chaney refused to stand during the pledge, which led to an alleged confrontation with a teacher. Paula Tutman is live. And Paula, that confrontation is what has people upset.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, this is a story that's gone national. This little boy says he's afraid to come back to school. Protesters will be here, and the school basically wants to make sure that children going into school at 7:30 this morning will not be adversely impacted by what's going on outside of school. Civics lesson in real time for 11-year-old Stone Chaney and his classmates at East Middle School in Farmington Hills. It is one that continues to play out in real time and across the national stage. It was the first week of school for the 6th grader, the morning ritual, one that's practiced across the country. Children stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, except Stone Chaney did not. This is what he says happened next.
The teacher consultant comes up from behind me and snatches me out of my chair violently.
What did you think at that point?
I was so confused. I didn't know what was going on.
He says the next day, another teacher yelled at him.
I don't stand for the pledge because I don't pledge to a flag. I pledge to God and my family.
It's his choice to sit. I don't make him sit. It's his choice. And they should respect that.
And the debate rages on between the constitutional meaning of freedom of speech.
I would love to be able to talk to them and, try to get their side and try to explain my side, so maybe we could come to an understanding, because I understand that they have that right to do that, but I don't believe that they understand what that right really entails.
If they're fighting for freedom and fighting for us to have choices, then it's our choice.
I don't feel safe going to that school anymore because I don't know what they're going to do to me next.
Farmington Hills School District Administration, they say that they will have extra security as well as staffers here in case they're in the rally. There are protesters and counter-protesters, things you really don't want to hear outside of a school. However, it is the First Amendment right to have that rally, and it starts at 7:30. As kids are walking in, we will be here.
You know, it's a controversial start to the school year, but Paula, what does Michigan law say about the Pledge of Allegiance?
Well, Governor Snyder in 2012 signed legislation saying that schools had to make the Pledge of Allegiance available to students, but students also could opt at sitting out. But keep in mind, Article 6 of the Constitution, that supersedes, federal law supersedes state law. And the law of the land is the Constitution, the First Amendment. And that gives those parents a right to rally here just as much as it gives that young man the right to not stand during the Pledge of Allegiance. They can work it out as part of freedom of speech. The big deal is making sure that those kids inside the school are not impacted.
All right, we know you're going to stay on top of this story. Thank you, Paula. And on Detroit's west side, 4 men rushed to the hospital after being wounded in a drive-by shooting. It happened around 9 p.m. Sunday on Stanton Street near Grand River. One of the men was hit in his head and is in critical condition. The 3 others are unstable. Police say the victims are not cooperating with investigators about what happened, and they have no suspects at this time.
2 young heroes emerge after a Romulus apartment building catches fire, neither of them over the age of 12. The fire started around 6:30 at the Barrington Apartments on Wayne Road. Fortunately, everyone made it out safely, partly because the 2 brave heroes walking by immediately jumped in to help.
When we were walking, I was thinking like just to help people, and we only saw the smoke, and then when we went on the other side, we saw the fire. We were yelling, "It's a fire, get out, get out, get out."
I try not to be scared because my legs are shaking and stuff.
Officials tell us they're working with the Red Cross to make sure the displaced residents have a place to stay, but many of them owe their lives to the quick thinking and brave actions of these 2 young boys. So a salute to them. Priya?
Well, time now is 6:06, and developing news out of the UK. New surveillance video surfaces of a man believed to be connected to Friday's London subway bombing. It shows a person leaving a property where police carried out a raid in connection with the bombing. Now, the person in the footage appears to be carrying a grocery bag, and the bag appears to be similar to the package that exploded on the train. This video was shot in the hours before the attack. 2 people have been arrested, but no one has been identified as the suspected bomber.
Big news this morning out of Canada. General Motors employees have begun a strike outside of an assembly plant in Ontario where the Chevy Equinox is made. This strike comes as negotiators failed to reach an agreement on a new contract. General Motors this morning is calling the situation disappointing and hopes to resume negotiations as soon as possible. McDonald's is going organic. Coming up, what kids can expect to see in their Happy Meals.
I'm just waiting for a veggie burger. But first, protecting your child's identity, the steps parents can take to make sure their children aren't victims of identity theft. That's next in Ron Maloney's Monday Money Report.
An organic Happy Meal? It's kind of unhappy, isn't it?
Tonight at 10.
Monday morning, we're talking identity theft again this week, and this is a particularly nasty one. Someone's opened an account in your child's name. Well, what do? Well, the first thing you do is you call the company where the ID theft occurred, and you alert them to a fraudulent account. You explain your child was the victim of ID theft, and as a minor, that child can't enter into a contract, so there's nothing they can do to your child. You ask them to close that account right away, and then you ask them to send you a letter confirming that your child is not liable. You need to have that. Also, you need to find out whether your child has a credit report with one of the 3 credit bureaus. You need to check with all 3. And how you do that is you ask for a manual Social Security number search. You're going to want to place a freeze on any and all accounts that have your child's name on it. Now, we have all of this information linked on how you can help yourself on the Maloney Money page at clickondetroit.com. Any questions? Email me at rodm@wdiv.com.
There are vinyl.
Week 2 of the NFL is almost in the books. So that's so ridiculous. How's your fantasy football team doing? In my case, pretty well, actually. Pretty well if you have Tom Brady on your team. He dominated the Saints yesterday, also dominating the field. Take a look. You may not have started him. Raiders wide receiver Michael Crabtree. He netted 3 touchdowns against the Jets. Now, granted, he was playing the Jets, which is almost a guarantee for a decent fantasy point total this season. So shame on you if you didn't start him against their secondary. Yep. Also, Hopefully you didn't leave C.J. Anderson on your bench. Take a look at this video. The Denver Bronco running back cruised through the Cowboys defense for 118 yards and 1 touchdown. Not many people saw that one coming as the Broncos beat the Cowboys roundly, soundly beating them 42-17. Now on to the busts. Guys that underperformed, leading us to our first bust. This is Ezekiel Elliott from the same game with the Broncos and the Cowboys. After rushing for more than 100 yards in week 1, he only rushed for 8 yards against the Broncos. He was ineffective, to say the least. And if you're one of the many, this would be me included, hoping Kirk Cousins will lead you to fantasy glory, you may be a little worried. For the second straight week, another disappointing stat line for the former Michigan State Spartan. And if he's not on your team and somehow still available in your league, it's time to pick up Titans running back Derrick Henry. Team may not say it, but he is the leading running back, especially after Sunday's 92-yard, 1-touchdown performance against the Jaguars. And for those who have DeMarco Murray, he may be seeing a lot more time on the bench, just so you know. Tonight, fantasy owners will be watching quarterback Matthew Stafford, Golden Tate, and others as the Lions visit the Meadowlands to face the New York Giants. And the question remains, will Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. play? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Should be a good game. In baseball news, Priya.
Well, the Tigers closed out their series with the Chicago White Sox, and pitcher Matt Boyd was close to a no-hitter. That was until the top of the 9th inning with 2 outs when the Sox' Tim Anderson hit a double, foiling the no-hitter. The Tigers went on to get the win 12-0. They open a series with Oakland tonight at Comerica Park.
Ask me what my fantasy football team name is.
What's your fantasy football team name?
Gene Rayburn's long microphone.
That's really good.
Pretty good. All right, I like it.
A little match game reference there for you.
Yeah, and Beckham he's playing tonight. I guarantee you he's playing tonight.
All right, make a note of that.
Yeah.
All right, I will.
I don't know. I think the Lions can pull out a win.
You know, they're
look at that face.
You actually think that?
Yes.
Oh, the world we live in.
If the defense is as fast as what we had last Sunday, we have a chance. I'm just saying a chance. There's a chance. But something that there is no chance of is the Caribbean escaping this. You're looking at Hurricane Maria here. The winds are at 90 miles per hour. And look at this. Here are the Leeward Islands right here. This thing is going to cut a path right through them. Remember, it's the right side of the hurricane where the strongest, most devastating wind is. And this thing is going to quickly strengthen. By the time it gets to Puerto Rico, it's going to be a Category 3 to 4 hurricane, and this is going to be a bullseye on Puerto Rico. Now, this is Hurricane Jose. Look at a very different looking storm, losing some of its kind of a tropical look to it, but still has 80-mile-an-hour wind near the center, but the tropical storm force winds extend way out. So as we talk about the impact for the Lions game tonight, now keep in mind, they're playing in New Jersey, right about there, about where the W is in New York. And so here's the storm, and watch as the model takes it. Not close enough to New Jersey to have an impact on the game. In fact, even the wind shouldn't be too bad at the game tonight, but this thing will keep progressing to the north. Notice this is at least tropical storm force conditions affecting the New England coast here, particularly places like Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and this is going to be continuing as we move into the day on Thursday. So this is quite a, I mean, we're watching Jose. It's not going to be the impact that Maria is going to have on the Caribbean, but still very nasty impact on New England, at least coastal New England. So mid to upper 60s largely across the area right now, a balmy, quiet start to the day. We do have some spotty showers in the area, nothing real violent or anything, and in fact, boy, we'd like to get a few good downpours here to alleviate the very dry conditions we have, but this front, very slow mover as we move through the course of the day, and we still could see a few pop-ups south of 8 Mile this afternoon, but drying out as we get into the Tiger game tonight at Comerica Park. So lots of clouds, maybe a bit of sun as we move later into the afternoon. Spotty showers off and on, some of you getting them at any one time, some of you not. Mid-70s or so for a high, and that continues to tomorrow. Tomorrow, a very similar day to today. After that, sunshine Wednesday through the weekend with highs in the 80s. Oh, this is looking like another good summery stretch. And here, take a look. Here's the old train depot here downtown. Josh Strand, our photographer, shot that. What a great shot. And I tell you, as a native here, I just love seeing that, that restored historic structure, Kim. Just beautiful. Look at that.
I love it. Those lights are so cool. All right, well, we're still looking pretty good out there. I just do want to take a look at What's going on over on I-75? We do have an accident on the southbound lanes of 75 just past South Huron River, and that has the left lane blocked. So again, we still have green on our maps here, but you may see a slight delay, so you may want to give yourself a little bit of extra time this morning if this is part of your morning commute. We also want to take a look at some construction over on eastbound M59 right at Haydenrich. There's going to be one lane block there until the middle of October. Eastbound I-94 right at Bogey Lake Road, there's going to be construction there as well. One lane block from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So keep that in mind as well. Now let's take a look at our Sky 4 chopper. This is our 1-800-CALL-SAM chopper shot. I-75 right at 12 Mile here. Traffic volumes starting to build, but things looking good in this area. Nothing you need to worry about over here. Priya.
All right, thank you, Kim. In today's consumer headlines, gas prices, they're going in the right direction, down. Plus, McDonald's is going organic in Happy Meals at least. But first, Toys R Us may be spending the holidays in bankruptcy. Maribel Aber is live at NASDAQ. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Priya. Before the fries, let's get to the toys. Toys R Us could file for bankruptcy before the holidays. The Wall Street Journal reports suppliers are tightening up the terms of doing business with the retailer, and in some cases, suppliers are holding back shipments until the chain can pay cash on delivery. Toys R Us is being hit by the shift to online shopping, and the holidays are critical to the company. Last year, 40% of the retailer's revenue came in the holiday quarter. A change is coming for McDonald's Happy Meal. Starting in November, the chain will use organic apple juice for the drink that comes with the meals. The new juice is made by Honest Kids, and it has just 8 grams of sugar. The Minute Maid juice being used now has 19 grams of sugar. Gas prices in Michigan are down. The statewide average is $2.54 a gallon. That's a drop of about 15 cents from last week, but it's 44 cents a gallon higher than a year ago. All this is according to AAA Michigan. In the Metro Detroit area, prices are down 12 cents from last week to $2.53 a gallon. That's latest in biz. Have a great start to the week, Priya.
All right, thank you so much, Maribel. Well, still to come, a stomach-turning crime. What local homeowners found on their porch from a suspected thief.
Plus, parents don't have confidence where their kids spend a lot of their time at school. The reason why, coming up next. But first, it's time to meet our Facebook friend for today, Erica Campbell from Allen Park. She's a stay-at-home mom with baby girl Mackenzie. We will be sending you a pair of tickets to the Michigan Renaissance Festival.
Just for being our friend for today, if you would like to be our friend as well, just like our Facebook page, click on the Friend of the Day tab. We'll be right back.
All right, 6:23 is the time, and usually scenes of heavy snow when it's still technically summer might cause some alarms to go off in your head, but for firefighters in Montana, it's exactly what they needed. Look, Montana has been fighting massive wildfires for weeks on end, and the fires have burned about 800 square miles. Now, they're saying that these snowflakes aren't going to extinguish the fires on their own, but the cooler weather at least is going to help slow them down. So they're actually okay with some snow out there in Montana. No snow for us. It's only September. It's never snowed here in September. Off to a quiet start. We do have some spotty showers in the area. Temps right now in the upper 60s, and we'll hit the mid-70s for a high with a chance for showers off and on through the day. Take the umbrella just in case. You might need the shades on the way home. There could be a little sun developing toward the end of the afternoon. So that's a look at today's weather. Let's see what's happening on those roads. Kim, what you got out there?
Looking pretty good right now. Here's a look at your commute over on the Lodge right at Chicago Boulevard. You can see it's not too crowded this morning, and we do have dry roads, so your commute should be a good one.
In good health, many parents say they are not confident their child's school is equipped to handle serious health issues. That's according to new data from the University of Michigan. Most parents were sure schools could provide first aid for cuts, scrapes, and other minor issues, but they were less certain about a school's ability to respond to a true emergency, like an asthma attack. Parents and teens thinking about getting a tattoo or body piercing should know the potential consequences and risks. First, check that a tattoo parlor is regulated by the state and practices infection control. Also, be sure your teens' immunizations are up to date and that they are not taking medications that lower immunity. Also, it is important to consider the long-term ramifications. In a 2014 survey, 76% of the participants said they thought their tattoo or piercing had hurt their chances of getting a job.
All right, next at 6:30, local stories from Taylor, Pontiac, and Detroit.
Plus, an argument over something at a golf course takes an unexpected dramatic turn, shots being fired.
But first, hitching a ride when a driver down under found hanging onto their axle. That's next in today's top video. We're back in a moment.
More than 50.
Today's top video, a koala survives a 10-mile road trip clinging to the axle of a four-wheel drive vehicle. This happened in southern Australia. The driver was unaware of the extra passenger until they arrived at their destination. But after seeing the koala in the wheel well, they immediately called animal rescue. After being cleaned up and monitored for a week, the koala was released back into the wild, much to Priya Mann's relief.
Oh, the first time I saw this story, I was like, oh my God, what happened? But the koala was just fine, been released, doing okay.
And we will be back in 1 minute.
Now, live from downtown Detroit. Local 4 News Today at 6:30 starts now.
Convicted of murder at just 12 years old, now a Detroiter right there, set to go free today, his 21st birthday.
Plus, messages of hate, more racist graffiti found on the University of Michigan campus. What school leaders are saying about it this morning. Paul.
Well, I guess we're going to call it the dog days of September. Look at these are August-like temperatures to start the day. We have some August-like showers in the area as well. We'll talk about that and the hurricanes just ahead.
What a beautiful weekend, shaping up to be a gorgeous week. Even if we have a little bit of rain, I'm not complaining. We're in the 80s.
No, like Paul said, we could use a few showers to brighten things up around here because it's getting a little crusty.
I agree, yeah.
A little crunchy and crusty
It kind of felt a little humid, almost muggy-like out there in the morning when I was coming in.
That's exactly what it is. And Jason, you make a good point because it's been so dry. Have you noticed leaves are starting to change on some of the trees? Leaves are in fact, I have a maple in front of my house. The leaves are just crunching up and falling off. That's because the trees are stressed. It's been very dry, and we don't have a whole lot of rain in the forecast, a little bit. We'll show you that in a second. 69 over at Metro Airport. Mount Clemens at 66, 64 in Port Huron, and 67 right now over in Monroe. And as you look at the radar picture, there's not a whole lot going on. This big green thing, boy, we wish this was rain. No, this is ground clutter here. The stuff that's moving, just spotty, light showers here across the area. Nothing real big. What we have going on is we have a cold front that's just basically perched out to our west, and this thing is taking a very slow drift to the southeast. It's going to take a long time to move through the area, but the key is that there's not a lot of moisture with the front. So there will be spotty showers. There'll be some this morning, maybe a break midday, then maybe some more popping up this afternoon south of 8 Mile. Highs in the mid-70s, and then we have another day like this tomorrow, and then wait till you see the 7-day. It's going to be pretty nice. We'll talk about that in a bit. Right now, don't forget you have 4-zone weather on clickondetroit.com. You can see the temperatures today in your neighborhood. Just go to the weather page and click on the 4-zone weather tab. Kim?
All right, thank you, Paul. Well, we do just have one problem on our roads this morning that we want to let you know about before you head out the door. Over on the southbound lanes of I-75 here, just past South Huron River Road, there is an accident there. The left lane is blocked, so you may see a little bit of a delay in that area. But other than that, we are accident-free right now, so let's take a look at our 1-800-CALL-SAM Chopper shot. This is a look at I-94 right at I-696, and you can see here that things are looking good. It's getting busier out there, but we do have dry roads this morning, which makes your commute a whole lot easier. Over to you.
All right, thank you, Kim. Well, at 12 years old, he shot and killed a woman over some money.
But today is his 21st birthday, which means he's about to be a free man. Paula Tutman is live to explain what's going on here. Good morning, Paula.
Hi, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. This is a young man who had contact with authorities before he committed these horrible, horrible crimes. I think what people really want to know right now is when he entered into the juvenile detention system, did he enter in to become a better person or a better criminal? And people just won't know until after the day when he's released. Today is DeMarco Harris's 21st birthday. It is also the day he wins his freedom. In 2009, Harris was convicted of shooting and killing Trisha Babcock in an attempted robbery. He was 12 years old at the time. The question, after 8 years in prison, has he served his debt to society? Is he still a danger to society? Because he was convicted as a juvenile, a judge decided, but not without first Trisha Babcock's family weighing in at his release hearing recently.
So this brutal act that DeMarco did should not be overlooked.
Babcock's family members were against the idea of releasing Harris. Her father gave an emotional testimony about his loss.
It wasn't fair for you when you died alone. My daughter deserves justice. This crime in juvenile detention center for 7 years while he played the system. Anybody in their right mind would have done the same thing that he did because he knows he has a chance for freedom.
Harris told the court there is no doubt. He says he's been rehabilitated, and he says he's remorseful.
Since that day, I have grown mentally, physically, and spiritually.
The judge took the recommendations of several therapists before ruling to release him, seemingly reluctantly.
I know I've been told that once he reaches 21, he's supposed to be cut loose. I'm not so sure about that.
Now, there are several people who spoke up at that detention hearing, or rather that release hearing, including people who worked with DeMarco when he was a detainee. They said he was a model detainee, that he did well in school, even took college courses. They do hope that he continues some sort of therapy when he gets out, and they hope that he does not return to his family or the neighborhood he came from. But here's the thing. My understanding is as soon as he is released today, he has no more contact with the courts. He is just plain a free man. Back to you.
Certainly an emotional day for both families. Thank you, Paula. Paula Tutman reporting for us live this morning.
Now for some stories making headlines across Metro Detroit.
We'll take a look at Taylor, Pontiac, and Ann Arbor, but we start in Springfield Township. That's where an argument between a golfer and an employee of the golf course ended in gunfire. This happened at the Heather Highlands Golf Course on Sunday. After an argument, the employee pulled out a handgun and began firing. Thankfully, nobody was injured, but the 45-year-old Grand Blanc Township man was arrested and taken to Oakland County Jail.
In Pontiac, the Boost mobile store on Perry Road was robbed at gunpoint around 4 p.m. Sunday. Police say the thieves pointed a gun at the 25-year-old cashier, ordered her to empty out the register. They also stole merchandise from the store. Police are looking for 3 suspects around 15 years of age wearing bandanas.
In Ann Arbor, University of Michigan police are investigating racist graffiti on campus. Several name tags at the West Quad were vandalized with graffiti that included a racial slur. The university's Black Student Union reports 3 black students were the target of the vandalism. University police say they will increase patrols at West Quad in response to the graffiti.
In Taylor, after a couple chases away a would-be bad guy, he returns to leave a disgusting message. The homeowners caught the thief in their car around 2 a.m. Friday. Husband chased him, but lost him. When they woke up the next morning, they found a knife in their yard staked in the ground. And get this, human waste on the front porch.
He decided to come back, and the police said it was retaliation because my husband scared him off what he did to us. Leave his feces on my porch. I think that the guy should be prosecuted if he's caught, because that is absolutely disgusting.
Taylor police believe the unidentified suspect to be involved with 2 other robberies in that area. Well, last night's Emmy Awards had a special guest that turned a lot of heads and may have stolen the show, leaving some to say, yeah, not appropriate, too soon.
Plus, fallout from that massive EQUIFAX hack. Now scammers are looking to now take advantage.
And let's take a look at this week.
Chaos on the streets of St. Louis after a 3rd day of protests leads to at least 80 arrests. The protest broke out after Judge Timothy Wilson acquitted former police officer Jason Stockley, who was charged in the 2011 killing of Anthony Lamar Smith. Prosecutors say Stockley, who is white, shot and intended to kill Smith, who is black, and allegedly planted a gun on him. Wilson said there was no evidence to support that claim. More protests expected tonight. An investigation underway after a deadly police shooting at Georgia Tech. Surveillance video shows officers repeatedly telling the man to drop a knife as the man continues to approach them. And at one point, an officer yells, "Drop it." The man steps forward and a shot is fired. The man later died at the hospital. Georgia Tech's Dean of Students identifies the man as a 21-year-old computer engineering student. And 4 American college students attacked with acid at a train station in southern France. The victims were all transported to a local hospital. The victims were all women, Boston college students studying abroad. All went to the hospital, were treated and released. 2 reportedly had acid in their eyes. They arrested a 41-year-old woman with a history of mental illness and do not believe it was an act of terror. Jason?
A vehicle involved in a car show crashes into a crowd of pedestrians. It happened Saturday morning in Boise, Idaho. Take a listen. Police say 11 people in all injured in that crash. According to witnesses, the Porsche was speeding as he left the car show parking lot. The driver lost control and crashed into several people on the sidewalk. Everyone is expected to be okay, thankfully. A Help Me Hank report for you this morning. The Federal Trade Commission is warning about a new wave of imposter scams. EQUIFAX is offering free credit monitoring and credit freezes for those affected by the recent data breach. Con artists are posing as Equifax reps, calling to verify account information. The call will sound legitimate, but the Trade Commission is warning against sharing information over the phone if you're solicited in that manner. Now let's send things over to Paul Gross, who's tracking not 1, but 3 different hurricanes this morning.
Absolutely, and this is not a good situation. I mean, it's going to have an impact on New England, but the other one in the Caribbean, that's really not good. So here's the wide view. Now, this is Maria down here. That's that one. This is Hurricane Jose. So let's quickly zoom in just to give you a better idea. And notice, as you compare the two, this structure is not nearly the same as what you are going to see in Maria. This is still a hurricane, 80-mile-an-hour winds, but keep in mind tropical storm force winds extend far out from the center. And as far as Maria is concerned, notice a very different looking storm. Notice you kind of see the outflow. You see the kind of spreading out of those high clouds there. That is a good sign of a well-developed storm, including very good increase in thunderstorms here near the center. And here are the islands. And keep in mind, this is where Irma went through. Here are the Virgin Islands here. This is Puerto Rico over here. And as I'll show you in a minute, the path of this storm there is going to go right through. But first, let's talk about New England, because the Lions play there tonight. Will not affect New Jersey tonight, but you'll see it weakening. This is Jose weakening to a high-end tropical storm, 70-mile-an-hour winds here as we get into early Wednesday morning, and then kind of looping around and continuing to weaken. But Maria, that is a different story. Look at this. Again, the track taking it right through the islands to a bullseye with Puerto Rico as a Category 3 or 4 storm. And here's the wind field. The orange, this is a hurricane force wind here. Notice how that's getting bigger. Boy, oh boy, direct hit right on Puerto Rico. This is not a good situation. So let's get to local weather. And right now things are starting off on a much quieter note. Upper 60s right now. The wind is very light. It's one of those muggy August type mornings. So I'll tell you what, this is going to be quite a week ahead, because we're going to see these temperatures essentially stick around for the week. Now we have scattered showers, light stuff, but scattered showers across the area, and that's going to continue at least through the first half of the day. Then things will settle down a bit as we get to the midday period, and there's a wider view. We do have a cold front that right now is crossing the state, but this is going to be a very slow process, and it's going to barely not nudge through the area until we get into tonight. So there's still a pop-up chance as we get to the afternoon hours, but especially south of 8 Mile. So there you see high 76 degrees, mostly cloudy, spotty showers, and on the 7-day forecast, a day tomorrow very much like today, still in the 70s, and then look at this, guys. Low to mid 80s Wednesday through Sunday with plenty of sunshine through and through. Now we need the rain, but we also love beautiful autumn weather, and so I'll tell you, this is going to be a summery last official week of summer.
Maybe the pool people were supposed to come on Saturday and begin the closing process. I think I'm going to push them off a few.
Yeah, you got a little bit more time. I also always love my pumpkin spice lattes, but I feel wrong drinking it at the pool.
But it's in the 80s. You're not drinking that stuff.
So are you saying you're going to have us all over to the pool?
Yeah.
I got to clean up the entire backyard.
Fine. We're family here.
Just provide the food. And
sure.
We don't care.
I'll just take the pool. We can order pizza or something.
That works.
Oh.
Carry on.
But yeah, this weekend it's going to be great.
Yeah. Nice. Really nice.
All right, well, let's take a look at your commute this morning. We did have that accident over on the southbound lanes of I-75. No longer need to worry about that. It has cleared, so we are looking good this morning. We just have to talk about some construction to watch out for over on the Lodge. We'll start with the southbound lanes between Forest and Grand River. One lane blocked there, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is a daily project continuing through Thursday, happening during that same time. So keep that in mind if you're out running errands or just in that area. We also want to take a look at construction over on the northbound side of the Lodge between Washington Boulevard and Jefferson. One lane blocked there just today, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then we have our Sky 4 chopper out and about right now. This is a look with our 1-800 Call Sam chopper shot. And this is over I-75 right near the Ambassador Bridge. You can see it there. Those of you traveling to Canada this morning, looks pretty good. Nothing you need to worry about. And again, we do have dry conditions, so your commute should be a good one. Back to you.
Thank you, Kim. What's the best thing about Canada?
Oh, where do I begin?
You said traveling to Canada.
Well, you got poutine, you got Tim Hortons, you got the people, you got the scenery, you got the landscape. I don't know. I could keep going.
And they exported Priaman to us. The 69th Annual Primetime Emmy Awards held last night in Hollywood and, as always, did not disappoint in the entertainment department.
In case you're just waking up, here are a few of the big winners. Singing competition The Voice took home the Best Reality Competition Show award, while Saturday Night Live won several awards, including Best Variety Sketch Program. Both Kate McKinnon and Alec Baldwin won Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy for their roles as Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, of course, during last year's election. And someone who knows President Trump very well appeared on this year's show.
They appeared during host Stephen Colbert's opening monologue. Who was this person? Well, we kind of showed it to you a moment ago. Take a look.
I mean, is there anyone who could say how big the audience is? Sean, do you know?
This will be the largest audience to witness an Emmys, period, both in person and around the world.
That, of course, was former White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer poking fun at his comments regarding the inauguration attendance for President Trump. Already, Twitter has exploded, basically saying, too soon.
I like seeing Melissa McCarthy just kind of sitting there like, ooh, all right.
Just 4 days left to enter this year's Film Challenge Detroit and win a trip to the Sundance Film Festival, plus $1,000 cash.
To enter, head over to filmchallengedetroit.com and upload your 5 to 15-minute film fitting the theme Good versus Evil. Here's a look at one of the submissions we've received.
Mama did her best raising me and my brother. She kept us in church and in that word. I guess that was her way of teaching us to be good and protecting us from evil. Don't get me wrong, I love and respect my mama. But being good ain't feeding us. Being good ain't keeping a roof over our head. Being good sure ain't giving me and my brother a steady job.
Wow. Even the money was on point. Did you see the old money?
I like that. That was great.
Street Numbers and Street Sweepers was the name of that, submitted by Anitra Cole.
A lot of competition, so make sure you get your submission in soon. Today's stories to watch for.
Sky 4.
Breaking news out of Centerline. A group of thieves breaking into a Benson's Health Center. Police say they were in and out in less than 3 minutes and made off with medicine that had been stored in a locked cabinet. No arrests have been made.
A Farmington Hills school is preparing as people are planning to protest outside of the school this morning. The demonstration in response to a teacher getting physical with a student for sitting during the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, these are allegations at this point. That teacher being investigated. The protest expected to start at 7:30 a.m.
A man convicted of murder when he was just 12 years old will be released today. DeMarco Harris spent 8 years behind bars for the murder of Tricia Babcock during an attempted robbery in 2009. On Friday, a judge ordered his release today, his 21st birthday.
A new video this morning of the man police believe may be responsible for a subway bomb attack in London Friday morning. 2 others have also been arrested in connection with the attack, but no one has been directly identified as the bomber.
This week, President Trump will make his first address to the United Nations. It's anticipated that one of his primary focuses will be gathering support to address the ongoing North Korean missile threat. That address will take place on Tuesday.
And workers at the GM assembly plant in Ontario, Canada, now on strike. The strike began late Sunday after GM and the Unifor Local 88 union failed to reach a new tentative contract agreement. The plant employs more than 2,700 workers and produces the Chevrolet Equinox.
The Lions are in New York to take on the Giants on Monday Night Football. The Lions are looking to go 2-0 on the season. Get your highlights right here tomorrow morning on Local 4. Paul.
All right, for those of you just waking up, let's get you updated on the tropics. This is Hurricane Maria. 90-mile-an-hour winds, but something very interesting. This is just within the past half hour to an hour. Take a look as we zoom in. You see this right here. We may have an eye developing. Now, it's already a hurricane, but the development of an eye means a continued development and intensification of the storm. Excuse me. You can see this very large swirl here of very intense thunderstorms. So this is a storm that's going to cross those islands as a Category 3 or 4 storm. Probably a 4 by the time it hits Puerto Rico in a few days. And this is Jose. Now, a lot of people are wondering about that Lions game tonight. And so let's talk about, show you the model here. And here you can see, now we're taking you through the day today. The game tonight, this is now 11 o'clock. Lions are right there, around the W there in New York. So this thing really not impacting them yet. And by the way, as the team's meteorologist, trust me, I've been in touch with them and let them know we'll get them home safely. But look at Tuesday, tropical storm force conditions, New Jersey shore all the way up into parts of Massachusetts and perhaps even up into parts of coastal Maine. This is a large storm. Those tropical storm force winds will extend way out. And remember, think about a severe thunderstorm that goes through here with maybe a 60, 70-mile-an-hour wind gust. Well, that's what they're going to get for hours on end there. And you can see now the eye is going to stay offshore. It is going to weaken as we get into the next few days as well. But very, very nasty weather. We're talking, again, a tropical storm force sustained continuous wind along with 3 to 5 inches of rain. And speaking of rain, around here, not a lot going on. Some spotty showers across parts of the area. A lot of us not getting it, so it's going to be kind of spotty as we move through the day. Kids heading out to the bus stop. There could be a shower this morning, not everybody getting one. And then this afternoon, especially south of 8 Mile, the possibility of a shower. Looks like upper 60s to start the day, mid 70s for a high temperature. And if you're going to the Tiger game tonight, I think the shower should be ending just before game time. And so I think it'll be dry for things at Comerica Park tonight. All right, Kim, I guess you have an accident to talk about.
That's right. It's been a pretty quiet morning, but we do have this one accident over on westbound I-696 right at Evergreen here. The left shoulder is blocked, so even though there's not any lanes blocked, we are still seeing some red on our map, so could see some slowdowns there. Give yourself some extra time.
All right, thank you, Kim. In today's Talker, 2 major tips for writing a resume, and they're actually pretty simple.
The first one, and probably the more obvious of the two, don't lie. A recent study found 75% of human resource managers have caught a lie on a resume. And the second tip, make sure every second counts. Don't waste time talking about things that aren't important because you want to get to the good stuff.
And that's especially important right at the start, as 39% of HR managers say they spend less than a minute initially looking at the resume.
That's actually longer than I thought they might.
All that hard
Just
work,
flipping
a minute though?
I know, but somehow they find time to catch your lies.
And you know what else you need to do is clean up your social media accounts, because they go and check your Twitter and your Facebook accounts. And if you have crazy stuff on there, they will see that, and that will be held against you.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Sounds like you know from experience.
Not experience.
I'm just kidding.
Are you saying that I do crazy stuff?
No, that is good advice, though. Definitely.
You know, you mentioned food a minute ago for breakfast.
Oh,
we don't have any bark or kale, so I can't help you.
I'll find some vegetables back there in our garden.
We'll be back.